The evidence supports is neither a blanket condemnation of NMN nor an uncritical celebration of niacin. It's a hierarchical framework that places interventions in their appropriate tiers based on evidence quality, cost-effectiveness, and individual circumstances. And that allows the conversation to move beyond tribalism toward rational allocation of health resources. The foundational tier belongs to lifestyle. Exercise is one of the most powerful NAD+ boosters available, operating through AMPK and SIRT1 activation without any supplement cost. Adequate dietary niacin equivalents from whole foods, optimized sleep, and caloric moderation all support endogenous NAD+ synthesis. These aren't supplement alternatives, they're prerequisites. Anyone optimizing their NAD+ supplement strategy without having optimized these foundations is, to use a financial analogy, refinancing a mortgage without having established a budget. The high-leverage, zero-cost interventions come first. The second tier is niacin, and the evidence basis for this placement is substantial. 80+ years of human clinical data. FDA approval for therapeutic use. A documented safety profile across a wide dosing range. Dual mechanisms through NAD+ synthesis and GPR109A receptor activation. Cardiovascular benefits through lipid modification that NR and NMN cannot replicate. And a cost structure roughly $15 to $30 annually that makes it accessible to essentially everyone. For the vast majority of people seeking NAD+ support, niacin at 250 milligrams to 1 g daily represents the best evidenced, most cost-effective starting point available. The third tier addresses formulation preferences within the niacin category, extended release or liposomal formulations for individuals with GI sensitivity to standard niacin or specific pharmacokinetic needs. These cost more than generic immediate-release niacin, but remain dramatically cheaper than designer precursors. The fourth tier, NR and NMN, serves a genuinely narrow population, people with documented niacin intolerance after adequate titration attempts, those with specific malabsorption conditions affecting niacin bioavailability, or participants in clinical research protocols where standardized newer precursors are specified. The graduation criteria for moving up tiers should be evidence-based, not marketing-driven. Lack of response after a proper niacin trial, defined as adequate dose, adequate duration, and objective outcome measurement, is a legitimate reason to explore alternatives. Specific genetic findings suggesting pathway compromise are a reasonable basis for reconsidering formulation. Physician guidance based on clinical assessment of individual circumstance is the appropriate standard for therapeutic range supplementation at any tier. The overarching principle this framework embodies is democratic longevity, the idea that access to evidence-based health span optimization should not be gated behind premium pricing. The supplement industry profits from the premise that expensive equals effective. The evidence base, when examined honestly, does not support that premise in the ND+ space. The old molecule, properly understood and appropriately dosed, remains the best evidenced option. Use the newer molecules when the evidence justifies it and not before.